All right, let's continue with our clean lower third. What we did in the first part of the project is we did the project setup. We set up our layers. It's actually a very simple setup with 2 lines of text and 2 shapes underneath those lines of text. So we position them where we wanted them on the screen. Lots of times it's easier to animate backwards. So you start where you want things to end up and then animate backwards, animate them off the screen and then play it forward and they fly into place. So it's a dirty little trick that animators have been using for years, right? Then we took the layers and we pre-comped them. And the idea is that now that they're pre-comped, I can go back and I can change what those layers say anytime I want. I can change the color, I can change the font, etc. So let's go back in and let's do the animation portion of our clean lower third. So this is where we are right now. And what we've done is we've taken this and we've created a pre-comp for the top and the bottom text. And I'm going to select both of those layers and I'm going to tap P to bring up my position. And I'm going to go to 1 second and I'm going to turn on the position, and it's going to lock the position of the 2 objects in that place. Now I'm going to turn off both of the objects. Oops, I want that to be there. I want to go up and just work on the top. And so I'm going to select that top layer. The bottom layer is not selected. Drag that all the way over. And the keyframe symbol is on. The little stopwatch is on. And I'm going to just drag this off the screen like so. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to parent that animation by dragging the timeline back to the 1 second mark. And on the bottom layer, I want to go to parent and link and choose clean lower third pre-comp. And now it's going to parent that animation. So what I want to do is have that second line of text drop down. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that keyframe and move it over a little bit to the right, say 5 frames. Then I'm going to go over 20 frames here. And with that bottom layer selected, I'm going to grab that text and drag it up under the other shape. So now I have something like this. So that looks pretty good. So let's clean it up a little bit. You know, we'll add a little agency, a little spin, a little pixie dust there. We're going to select all that, right? With all those keyframes, we're going to right click, keyframe assistant, put on our easy ease, right? Let's turn on our motion blur and let's see how that looks. So it's got a render. Let's play it again. Nice. Now, we still want to give it a little pep, put a little pep in its step. With all those keyframes still selected, I'm going to click on my graph editor and I want to be in my speed graph, and I'm going to select all those keyframes at the bottom and I'm going to pinch them in like so. So now it's just got a little bit of extra excitement there. And let's play it. So the first time through it has to render. Let's play it again. And there we have our really cool lower third animation. So now the reason why we pre-comp, let's look at why we create the pre-comp. I'm going to close those positions and I'm going to double click where it says clean lower third pre-comp. And when I double click that, it opens up the animation. And then I'm going to go down into here, and where the text is, I can change it, say something else. You can change the color of the shape under contents rectangle, fill, choose a different color. And then I can close all that when I go back to my comp. And then I'll do the same for the second line of text. So go to that layer, double click to go back to the original animated elements, or they're not animated, but the original elements are locked in that pre-comp, right? So it's like it's very much like some of the things that you do in Flash with some of the objects in there. So now I'll go to that second line of text, grab my tool, and I'll drag over that, and I'll type in all right. Now I need to change the size of that shape in the background. I'm going to hide this. Got my type tool, double click on this. And just stretch it. Let's see if we can see that text there. Let's stretch it a little more. There we go. And then I'll even change its color. We'll change the other color. Under contents, rectangle, fill. I think I want more of a purple color this time, right? Click OK. I'm going to close that, go back to the original comp, and play it. Oh, so that text is a little too long now, so we'd have to go back and modify it. But as you can see here, I can use that pre-comp to do a lot of really cool things and then go in and make modifications to it. I could hide that layer, right? I can make it where, let's see here, until it drops down. We could make it, we could change the opacity of that layer, right? So if I come up here, I want to put the opacity at 100% here. And then when it's about the rest of the way, let's put it about right here. I'll set the opacity to 0. And now it's going to come down. And there we go. So we can do stuff like that. And that's the idea of that, of a pre-comp, and that's how you create a clean lower third and reuse it. And we'll join you on the other side.